this investigation,
we've decided to uncover the truths behind cultural inaccuracies in the Disney franchise.
through interviews with today's youth and countless hours of extensive research, we will reveal the impact the Disney franchise has on today's society.
Disney is a franchise that has an influence over a variety of age groups, and many of their characters are recognizable to children as young as 3 years old.
If someone as young as 3 years old can easily identify a popular Disney character that is featured in a controversial Disney film, they are therefore being exposed to several stereotypes that relate to certain cultures. Okay, can you tell everyone your name?
Jake.
Good. And how old are you, Jake?
3.
And are you a big Disney fan? Yes? Have you been to Disney World before?
Yeah.
How many times have you been to Disney?
2.
2 times? Okay. Okay, Jake. Now I'm going to show you some pictures and you're going to tell me who's in the pictures, okay? Ready?
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse. Good. Ready? Who's this?
Nemo.
Nemo. Yep. Good job. Jake, who's this?
Pocahontas.
Good. And who's this? Mulan. Good. And who's this?
Peter Pan.
Good job. Ready? Who's this, Jake? Aladdin?
Yeah.
Good job. And then
After accumulating and analyzing all of our research and interviews, we have been able to successfully develop a thesis.
Disney has the responsibility to portray cultures with accuracy, therefore allowing children to understand these cultures realistically rather than stereotypically.
The cultural representation of Arabs, African Americans, and Native Americans have been inaccurately illustrated in both Disney cartoons and movies.
If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me.
State your full name.
Maddie Claire DeMello.
Would you consider yourself a Disney fan?
Sure.
And did you ever watch Disney films as a child, like Pocahontas or Peter Pan?
All the time.
Did movies like Peter Pan and Pocahontas ever influence your perception of Native Americans?
Yeah, I'd say so because they illustrate natives as like really savage people and display them like dancing around a fire making really weird noises, and it's not very accurate.
In your opinion, do you think movie franchises like Disney have a responsibility to portray cultures accurately?
Yeah, I'd say so because Disney knows they have a really large fan base, and when they're implementing these stereotypes into their films, to the viewers, it's making it seem like these stereotypes are okay and that they're true, when in reality they're not.
We would like to advise the audience that the following clips may offend some viewers and misrepresent several cultures.
The following clips have been pulled from various Disney cartoons and movies that you may be familiar with.
We have featured clips that misrepresent the Arabic, African American, and Native American cultures. Mickey in Arabia is a cartoon that was created in 1932, which depicts Mickey and Minnie vacationing in Saudi Arabia.
Aladdin was created in 1992 and follows the life of a poor Arab boy who steals to survive.
Stop, oh thief! I'll have your hands for a trophy, street rat! All this for a loaf of bread? Whoa!
In the 1932 cartoon, Mickey in Arabia, Disney portrays the Arabic culture stereotypically rather than realistically.
An example of this is the exaggeration of the snake charming custom and a child who appears to be using an old man's beard as a jump rope.
The old man in the clip is completely helpless and is passed out on the side of the road without shoes. We also saw a clip from Aladdin that shows a poor Arabic boy portrayed as a beggar who steals what he can't afford.
This therefore perpetuates the idea that Arabs are thieves and so-called street rats, as mentioned in the clip. Mickey's Mellow Drummer is a cartoon created in 1933 where Mickey and his friends are preparing to perform their rendition of Uncle Tom's Cabin.
In 1853, Harriet Beecher Stowe published the famous novel Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Uncle Tom's Cabin earned so much praise because it portrayed African Americans as real people rather than worthless slaves.
In this clip, we see famous Disney characters Mickey Mouse and Clarabelle Cow going to the extreme so they can achieve a dark skin color so that they can portray the main characters in Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Mickey puts a stick of dynamite in his mouth and uses the ashes from the explosion to paint his face black. However, he leaves his lips white.
Clarabelle Cow even uses the soot from a lantern so that she can paint her face black and, just like Mickey, leaves her lips completely white. At a point in time, only white males were allowed to participate in live theater productions.
If an African American character existed in the play, a white male would be cast and would have to paint his face black.
This therefore perpetuates the discriminatory practices that existed because of the racist attitudes towards African Americans. The movie Dumbo was created in 1941. For most people, Dumbo is an innocent movie about an elephant who can fly. What most people don't know is that Dumbo has hidden messages of hate. One of the infamous crows is named after the racial caste system of the Jim Crow laws. The Jim Crow laws were a series of laws that had the sole purpose of segregating African Americans and white people. The Jim Crow laws were first created in the southern United States in the 1880s and continued for almost 100 years. They were finally stopped in the year 1965. By the Disney franchise naming a cartoon character after a series of laws that segregated African Americans for almost 100 years shows the misrepresentation and improper portrayal of their culture. The Jim Crow laws prevented so many African Americans from living freely, and featuring the title of these laws that segregated them in a child's cartoon movie would be considered disrespectful by many. Trader Mickey is a cartoon created in 1932. In this cartoon, Mickey and Pluto run into a group of poorly depicted Native Americans. In the 1932 cartoon Trader Mickey, we see Mickey and Pluto being attacked by a poorly illustrated group of Native Americans.
The portrayal of Native Americans in this cartoon is disrespectful as it portrays them as unruly savages.
Easy, lad. What is it?
It's Smith! They got him!
Who got him?
The savages!
Savages?
They captured him, dragged him off.
Where'd they take him?
They headed north.
How many were?
What can you expect from filthy little heathens? Here's what you get when races are diverse. The skins are hellish red. They're only good when dead. They're vermin, as I said, and worse. They're savages, savages. Barely even human. Savages, savages. Drive them from our shore.
They can't be trusted. We must sound the drums of war.
They're savages, savages. First we deal with this one, then we sound the drums of war.
The two clips just shown were from two very popular Disney films that have been known to perpetuate and create inaccurate stereotypes about Native Americans.